If you want to accomplish more with ease, learn the art of letting things happen. Hello, my name is Tekson Teo, a Wu Wei coach, author of the book Wu Wei Comes Alive. Now, there are 3 ways to get things done. Number 1 is to do what you think. Number 2 is to do what circumstances dictate. And number 3 is to let things happen. Now, of the 3 approaches, the third is the most powerful, and this is what we call Wu Wei. But why is it so powerful? We have to look at the first 2 first, and that's what we're going to do now. Let's look at the first approach, which is to do what you think. Now, this is, I would say that it is the most common approach that we use to achieve whatever we want to do. Well, you have your dream, and then you identify the strategy, and you set the goals, and you line up the tasks. And for those who are more diligent, you would also plan your time in such a way that you make use of every minute possible to help make your dream come true the soonest possible. And this approach is powerful in the sense that it helps you to focus. When you have a goal, you focus your attention, your energy, your resources, and it is the best way to help you achieve results. And at the same time, it also would bring quality results because there's no dissipation of attention. But this approach has a drawback. What is that? Now, in order for you to really accomplish things, it is important that you don't just think about what you want to achieve. It is also important for you to be consistent with the various elements that would allow you to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, for anything to happen, 3 primary factors must be around. Number 1 is timing. Timing must be right. Number 2 is the positioning. You must position yourself in the most advantageous position. And then number 3 is the people, the quality of people, including yourself and the people that you're working with. And so if the 3 prime factors work together to achieve, which is something that you have set to achieve as a goal, then everything is beautiful. But the thing is, it rarely happens because when we come to this world, we always come with one thing that we are struggling with throughout our life. What is that? It is our ego. Now, what's ego? Ego is to do things according to your desire. Now, you are self-centered in the sense that you think of what you want to achieve based on your desire. Now, it doesn't mean that you are selfish. You can be altruistic, and at the same time, you are egoistic. When you're egoistic, you ignore things that are not your liking. Now, you like to hear what you want to hear, you like to see what you want to see. And if you don't hear what you want to hear or see what you want to see, you begin to resist, or you find excuses not to face what's happening. And this has become a weakness when you are trying to accomplish things, because you can't possibly accomplish things by your desire alone. You need the various factors that we mentioned just now to help you achieve your goals. Otherwise, you may be just going around the circle. You work hard, but you will not see results. What about the second approach? The second approach is elegant in the sense that, the universe is too complex for you to know what's going to happen, and then changes keep happening. So you will know what changes are going to take place. So now, if you don't know what's going to happen, if you can't keep pace with changes, why bother? Let life decide what you want to do. So, you just do whatever that comes to you, and then you try to be in a moment, enjoy every moment that you have. But again, this approach has its drawback in the sense that although you think that you are natural, in fact, you may not be. Now, to find your true nature is not as straightforward as that. We all come to this world for a reason. Now, if you were a candle, you had to burn yourself to bring brightness to the world, otherwise you would not be living your value. If you are a bird, you had to fly, otherwise you are not living a value. But how do you know that you are a candle or a bird or something else? It is not just conceptually telling that you to be natural, then you understand what your innate nature is. You can only know your innate nature when you work with it. You do something and then reflect, and do something and then reflect. And it could be failure that strike you to think harder, or it could be success that motivates you to see what really is bringing you the passion that you have in you. So it is not so straightforward, and the problem is that if you are just reacting to circumstances, then you would not be able to go deep enough to understand the true nature in you. So, well, the first two approaches: one, do what you think, and number two, do what circumstances dictate. Both have their strengths and weaknesses. And the beauty of the third, which is to let things happen, is that it work on the strengths of the first two approach, and at the same time it avoids the weaknesses of the first two approaches. You have a dream, but your dream is not just something that plucked from the air, or that is something that people tell you, you better be a lawyer, then okay, I'll be a lawyer. It is something that you discover it through your self-discovery. It's a kind of doing, reflecting, and so it becomes something that you find that it's really what your nature is, and you would be rooted in such a way. Then when that happens, you would not waver easily, because you know that this is what you want in life. This is where you can really be valuable, and this is where your passion is. So, when you are setting a goals, you are not doing it in vacuum. This is the first part of it, which is the finding the flow in you. And at the same time, you also find the flow outside you. We mentioned about the three prime factors that make things happen: the timing, the positioning, and the people. You marshal these resources to help you to achieve your goal. And at the same time, you are all ears to what's happening around you. When you need to adapt, you need to change, you need to improve, or you need to acquire new resources, or you need to be out of your box, or even to stay away from the comfort zone, you know that these are important, and you also know how to go about it. And when you are doing it, you are combining the strengths of the first two approaches, and at the same time, you make up for what are lacking in these two approaches with the fact that you let things happen, you don't force things happen. You are part of the flow, you are not the flow. And that's why it's so powerful. I hope you find the explanation helpful, and that you enhance the quality of your practice in Wu Wei. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.